Coming up on Mountain News this morning, the Richmond Police Department is getting creative as it struggles with staff shortage. And the fight for drag racing continues in West Virginia as citizens try to reopen a drag strip.
Dedicated to Eastern and Southern Kentucky, this is WYMT Mountain News This Morning.
Good morning, I'm Madison Carmouche. The time is 6 a.m. and let's check in with Chief Forecaster Brandon Robinson for a look at your forecast this morning. Brandon, what are you thinking?
I kind of wish you had brought better weather with you, but I wish I'd have had better weather for you as you make your debut.
Yeah, I feel like it's kind of on you to bring me the good weather.
I know. I'm sorry. I apologize in advance.
Okay.
But, you know, it's been fairly nice. So we've had some nice days. You know who no, I'm not going to blame Olivia. I'll blame, I don't know. We'll just blame Mother Nature. How's that sound? But anyway, it is a little bit soggy out there this morning. So let's take a look. And again, not all of this falling as rain. We're seeing a heavier band of rain. The heaviest probably on the radar this morning over into Logan County, West Virginia. But everything else, the darker the green you see, the more likely it is it's actually reaching the ground. I mean, it's showing green from basically Lexington to Norton. But again, you can tell some areas like Mount Vernon seeing some pretty good rain out there, at least some drizzle. So just kind of keep an eye on that. Be careful on any wet roads this morning. Give yourself plenty of time to get back and forth. 50s and 60s out there, upper 50s there in Southwest Virginia, 57 the cool spot in Clintwood. And then other than that, there's quite a few 64s. Ashland, Prestonsburg, Manchester, Monticello. And I believe that's in Harlan. That's all the 64s there. That's the warmest temperatures in the region this morning. Already 54 in Carbondale. They're behind the second front, and that's going to make more sense to you in a few minutes when I show you the surface map. But again, there's two fronts out there impacting us. The first one is the wet one. The second one is the cold one. So that one's coming through, and it's already behind that in Carbondale. 70 this afternoon. It's going to be a fairly cool day, but still pretty close to average for now. That will change as we head into the weekend. Madison.
Brandon, thank you. Some police departments are getting creative to fill the officer shortages they are facing. Grayson Passmore talked to Richmond's police chief, who is now taking to social media, trying to bring in a more diverse group of applicants.
As most police departments are facing shortages of some kind, many are getting creative to attract potential hires.
I do like to find people that want to be a law enforcement officer, but I really want to find people who really want to work for the Richmond Police Department.
Just last month, the Georgetown Police Department hosted an open house to show the community what officers do in the day-to-day and to maybe encourage some to apply. At the time, the department was around 12% understaffed, looking to fill 8 positions out of 68. Over in Lexington, the much bigger department is looking to fill 116 vacant positions out of 639. Richmond Police Department Chief Rodney Richardson says they'd like to fill 5 out of 68.
So we get a lot of new applicants and officers based on them spreading the word. We're just looking for those individuals who really want to do something positive.
So the department created this recruitment video. It's already gotten close to 8,000 views on Facebook. The chief hopes the social media reach could connect with a more diverse group of applicants, like younger people and women.
The more diverse you are, the better you can connect to your community. And that's our goal. That's our ultimate goal. We have to figure out what our department needs, what our community needs, and what we're capable of doing, and then go out and do it.
In Richmond, Grayson Passmore, WKYT.
The fall forest fire season is now underway. It is illegal to burn between the hours of 6 a.m. and 6 p.m. Officials say fire safety practices should be in play while burning at night, but some of those safety practices, like raking up fallen leaves, can be more harmful if not done correctly.
Those can be hazards if you pile those leaves up close to a home or close to the wooded area. You know, if somebody's burning something, embers pick up and they get into those leaf piles, I mean, they'll burn just like a matchstick.
The heat and recent lack of rain have created harsh conditions that first responders say could be dangerous if a fire gets out of hand. So keeping a form of extinguisher nearby is also recommended during the next couple of months. Motorsports have a huge following in this area, and 1 year after drag racing enthusiasts in southern West Virginia thought their dreams were coming true, Curtis Johnson tells us how they are now searching for answers.
That was the sound of racing just 1 year ago in Mingo County. The Twin Branch Drag Strip, opening to fans October 22nd of last year. The culmination of 8 years of work. Thrilling then, frustrating now. These enthusiasts pleading with county commissioners this week, seeking any help to get the drag strip open again, saying it's the talk of online racing circles.
Want to come in here and bring the national, like big cars like Doug and him race, want to come in here and race because they said, look at this view. Said we can't wait to hear these big mountain motors go echoing through the mountains, and they love it. I mean, just it's a no-brainer.
County commissioners voicing some support, but acknowledging they do not own the property. Instead, the drag strip and its surrounding property owned by the Mingo County Redevelopment Authority, with a significant infusion of your state tax dollars. The authority issuing this statement, saying it has considered selling the property and is collaborating with the governor's office and state agencies to evaluate development options that will maximize the best use of the property as well as the state's financial investment. That evaluation including an assessment of the current safety hazards of the drag strip. So I took the issue straight to the governor. What is your opinion about reopening the property for drag racing? And what is the status of the state's effort in determining how that property should be used?
There is real land that can really be developed down there. So, you know, I'll wait to hear what the powers to be think of the possibility of drag racing down there and everything. But way more importantly, maybe than that, you know, I want to see us, you know, strike gold as far as bringing real live development, real live economic development to southern West Virginia.
The issue getting added attention this week after deputies in Mingo County investigated an apparent street racing event this past weekend. Deputies finding skid marks, pieces of tire, and paint on the main road. Unauthorized street racing illegal in West Virginia. But with this drag strip closed, these enthusiasts now asking the county commission for a permit. County commissioners agreeing to place the item on a future agenda.
Local governments can approve permits for street racing thanks to a 2016 law sponsored by Mingo County State Senator Mark Maynard. That law requires the organizer to have insurance, security, and provide for the safety of everyone involved. The local government must close the roadway, reroute traffic, and notify the State Department of Transportation 60 days in advance. He is not just man's best friend, but seemingly the best friend of every student attending Chapmanville Intermediate School in Logan County, West Virginia. We are talking about 10-month-old Malfoy, a new therapy dog at the school. Malfoy is one of 19 therapy dogs across West Virginia as part of the Friends with Paws program and the first therapy dog at Chapmanville Intermediate. The school counselor says in the short time Malfoy's been there, he is already making a difference.
Sometimes when you get kids out of class and they're coming to talk about serious things that are going on in their lives, it's just a nerve-wracking thing for them. So for them to be able to just sit down with him and pet on him, it makes it easier just to open up.
Even though Malfoy is still a puppy, the plan is to grow his role as he gets more comfortable with students, eventually taking him to visit other schools and to be in the community. The Daniel Boone Festival Committee has many plans for celebrating their 75th anniversary in Barbourville. Along with having a citizen of Cherokee Nation as their Grand Marshal for the first time, Festival President Merrill Bargo says they have other events that will celebrate the festival's history.
A time capsule that we buried the other day that'll be open at their 100th festival. Put a lot of the history stuff of the festival committee and that type of thing in it. Several different things. We've got a bigger carnival this year. We got an extra concert.
The festival committee also has medals with their logo and the number 75 to celebrate the anniversary.
Coming up on 6:10, still tracking some waves of rain, not an all-region washout, but enough to create some issues out there. Some heavier pockets have been falling, and we expect a few more rounds to work their way through as we head into the early afternoon hours. Lake Cumberland camera is out, so we'll move right along this morning to temperatures. And again, they're not moving. 50s in southwest Virginia, except for Jonesville. They're in the 60s like everybody else, low to mid 60s out there. We did drop. I noticed we did have a 65 in a couple of places. Now it's down to 64. But you're going to see these temperatures a lot this morning, so we're not going to really go through them because they're going to be a lot of the same numbers, all right? This is something you're going to need for at least the first half of the day. We're going to be seeing a few showers early in the day, and then hopefully, if everything works out the way it's supposed to, skies will try to clear this afternoon. They'll definitely try to dry out, and we might even see some late day sunshine, which may take us above a little bit our 70-degree forecast time. Madison?
Brandon, thank you. And thank you for joining us on Mountain News this morning. More news is on the way. Coming up, former President Trump announced his pick for Speaker of the House overnight.